Atlanta gasping for answers. Atlanta has always been called the Hollywood of the South. Glitz, music, flashy cars, and scandals that seem tailor-made for gossip blogs. But even in a city where drama never sleeps, nothing prepared us for the chaos that erupted when the Frost family's perfect little reality TV bubble finally shattered. We all know Kirk and Rasheeda Frost, the couple who turned marital drama into entertainment gold on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Kirk with his infamous cheating scandals, Rasheeda with her boutique empire and endless clapbacks. They build a brand out of chaos, and somehow the audience kept rooting for them. They were messy, but they were our messy. The couple who made dysfunction look like a business plan, but this time the cameras weren't rolling and the storyline wasn't crafted for ratings. This wasn't VH1. This was the real world, and the headline was brutal. Their eldest son, Kai Frost, arrested for the death of rapper T. Hood. Let's pause on that. Arrested, the word every celebrity family fears. The kind of headline that doesn't just trend, it sticks. It defines. It stains a reputation forever. Now, here's where it gets even wilder. The Frost family is no stranger to controversy. Kirk has been dragged for cheating more times than Atlanta. Traffic makes you late for work. Rasheeda has been accused of caring more about brand deals than her own marriage. They've survived infidelity scandals, public breakups, and countless Instagram wars. But none of that compares to this, because this isn't just family drama. It's a life and death scandal that has both fans and haters asking the same question. How did we get here? So, let's rewind. It was the night of August 8, 2025. A typical humid Georgia evening. Inside the Frost family home, things were anything but peaceful. According to insiders, and when I say insiders, I mean the kind of cousins who can't keep their mouth shut, on Facebook, voices were raised, tempers flared, and the tension could be cut with a knife. The center of it all. Kelsey Frost, Kai's half-sister, and 33-year-old rapper Tevin Hood, better known as T. Hood. The two had been clashing for weeks. Some say it was over money. Others whisper about jealousy, and a few claim it was something far more personal. Whatever the spark, that night, it ignited into a full-blown firestorm. Neighbors reported shouting so loud it could be heard from the street. It sounded like World War III in that house, one anonymous witness told us. And then the unthinkable happened. Things got physical. By the time the yelling stopped, Kelsey was visibly shaken with injuries that could not be hidden. Ender Kai Frost. Now Kai wasn't even there when the argument started. He walked into chaos. He saw his sister hurt, Hood still in the house, and in that moment, everything spiraled. What happened next is still the subject of police reports, witness statements, and endless social media speculation. But what we do know is this. Kai pulled out a firearm. Shots rang out, and when the smoke cleared, Tood was dead. Here's the twist that sent the internet into meltdown. Kai claimed self-defense. He insisted that he acted only because Tood was a threat. But when police searched the scene, they didn't find a weapon on T. Hood. No gun, no knife, nothing. Just questions and questions turned into rumors faster than Rasheeda could drop a new Instagram post. Some witnesses swore they saw the Hood holding a gun. Others insisted he was unarmed. Police checked surveillance footage, phone records, and even dug through neighbors' ringing cameras, but every piece of evidence just made the puzzle more complicated. The missing weapon, or lack of one, became the biggest mystery of them all. Was it removed before police arrived? Did it even exist? Or was Kai's self-defense claim a cover for something darker? Meanwhile, social media exploded like gasoline on fire. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everyone had a theory. Some called Kai a hero for protecting his sister. Others labeled him a cold-blooded killer. Hashtags like #JusticeFortHood and #FreeKaiFrost trended simultaneously. A digital battleground where fans clashed in comment sections like it was the Super Bowl. And let's not forget Kelsey herself. She jumped on Instagram just hours later, posting a tearful video defending her brother. "He saved my life," she said, voice cracking. "If Kai hadn't been there, I don't know what would have happened to me." Supporters flooded her comments with heart emojis and prayers. Critics, they weren't buying it. "You're just covering for him." One comment read, "This isn't self-defense, it's murder." By the end of the night, one thing was clear. This wasn't just a personal tragedy. This was a public spectacle, the kind of scandal that reality TV can't contain. No matter how many cameras you point at it. And as if things couldn't get worse, the Frost parents themselves were dragged into the mess. Rasheeda, who just days earlier was posting cheerful boutique promotions, suddenly found her Instagram flooded with angry comments. How could this happen under your roof? Where were you when your son needed guidance? The queen of clapbacks had gone silent. No captions, no hashtags, no witty responses, just silence. Kirk didn't any better. The same man who's been roasted for years as Atlanta's poster child for bad decisions was now being blamed for bad parenting. 2. You raised him wrong. Fame over family, this is on you. The criticism was brutal, merciless, and relentless, but the real kicker, Kai himself stayed on the scene after the shooting. He handed over his weapon to the police, fully cooperated, and repeated his claim. It was self-defense. Yet, despite his cooperation, the whispers wouldn't stop. Witnesses contradicted each other, timelines didn't quite match, and the missing weapon loomed over the case like a shadow nobody could escape. And so, as the Frost family's empire trembled, the first cracks of a much bigger storm appeared. This wasn't just about a fight gone wrong. This was about reputation, legacy, and survival. The Frost weren't just fighting for their son's freedom, they were fighting for their entire brand, their empire, their name. Because once the world sees your child in a mugshot, there's no coming back to happy family Instagram posts and VH1 storylines. This was bigger. This was messier. This was the kind of scandal that rewrites a family's legacy forever. And trust me, this was only the beginning. The streets of Atlanta were already buzzing after the news broke that Kirk Frost and Rasheeda's son was in custody. But part 1 was just scratching the surface of the chaos. Now, as more details unfold, this scandal is growing into something far bigger than just a family embarrassment. This is turning into one of the wildest stories hip-hop has seen in years. People online are stunned, asking the same question over and over again. How did the Frost son, who grew up in front of reality TV cameras, end up in handcuffs over a rapper's death? Well, buckle up because the deeper we go, the messier it gets. First, let's rewind to the night of the incident. Eyewitnesses say the rapper who lost his life had been performing at a small club event on the east side of Atlanta. The vibe was chill at first, just music, drinks, and a crowd that was ready to party. But when the Frost family name got tied into the scene, everything flipped upside down. Sources close to the situation claimed that an argument started backstage. Words were exchanged, tensions were high, and people started recording on their phones. That's when things spiraled out of control. One witness told reporters, "It all happened so fast. First, they was just yelling. Then somebody threw a punch, and then shots rang out. Everybody was running." Now, here's where it gets insane. Multiple outlets confirmed that the Frost son wasn't just present, he was allegedly in the middle of the altercation. When police started digging through witness statements and security footage, his name came up again and again. Within hours, authorities had enough to bring him in for questioning. Fans immediately flooded social media with disbelief. No way Kirk and Rasheeda's kid really did this. One person wrote on X. Another fan posted, "We literally watched him grow up on Love and Hip Hop. How did it come to this?" The reactions weren't just shock, they were heartbreak. Because for years, the Frost family has been a reality TV staple. They showed us the ups, the downs, the cheating scandals, the business hustles, but nothing like this. By the time the official arrest was announced, the internet was on fire. Hashtags with the Frost son's name were trending. Bloggers were dropping live reactions, and YouTube commentators were pumping out videos left and right. Some defended him, saying he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Others called it karma for the years of drama surrounding the Frost family. Meanwhile, Kirk and Rasheeda were completely silent. No Instagram posts, no statements, no comments, just silence. For a couple who usually shares everything online, that silence spoke volumes. Insiders say they were devastated behind the scenes, struggling to even process what had just happened. Let's be real, Kirk Frost has had scandals before. Cheating, allegations, secret kids, messy fights on reality TV. But this was different. This was different. This wasn't just gossip or drama for ratings. This was a potential murder case, and their son was right in the middle of it. The legal side of the story only made things crazier. Prosecutors wasted no time slapping charges on him, and while the exact details are still coming out, words like felony, weapon possession, and manslaughter are already being thrown around. His mugshot hit the internet, and within minutes, it was everywhere. Fans were reposting it with captions like "This can't Be Real and Love and Hip Hop just turned into Law and Order. But here's what makes the whole situation even more shocking. The rapper who was killed wasn't just some random name. He had connections in the Atlanta music scene, ties to other up-and-coming artists, and a growing fan base that was rallying around his music. His death wasn't just a tragedy for his family, it was a loss for the entire hip-hop community. That's why emotions are running so high. The memorial held days after people wore t-shirts with his face on it, blasting his songs through car speakers and demanding justice. And when whispers spread that Kirk Frost's son was involved, the anger only intensified. Some fans even accused the Frosts of using their reality TV fame to protect him, though police insist the case is being handled by the book. Meanwhile, tabloids and gossip sites are feasting on every single detail. Old clips from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta are resurfacing where Kirk and Rasheeda were seen lecturing their kids about responsibility and staying out of trouble. Those clips are now going viral with comments like, "Guess he didn't listen." Others are clowning Kirk for all the times he messed up on TV, saying the apple didn't fall far from the tree. But hold up, it's not all black and white. Some close friends of the Frost family are coming to their defense, painting a different picture. According to them, their son wasn't the aggressor at all. They claim he was trying to break up the fight, and somehow got tangled in the chaos when shots went off. If that's true, then this entire case could look very different in court. Still, the evidence is stacking up, and the internet isn't waiting for a trial. People are already picking sides, either calling for him to be locked up for life or demanding his release because they believe he's being set up. And then there's the Frost brand itself. Rasheeda has spent years building her image as a businesswoman with her fashion boutique press becoming a hotspot for fans and celebrities, but this arrest threatens everything. Already, critics are questioning whether she can continue promoting family values and boss moves while her son is facing charges this serious. Insiders say VH1 producers are watching closely, too. Love and Hip Hop has thrived on drama. But this is the kind of scandal that could either skyrocket ratings or cause major backlash. Rumors are flying that cameras have already been rolling on the Frost, ready to capture their raw reaction to this crisis. If that's true, we might see the entire fallout play out on screen sooner than later. But here's the million-dollar question. What happens next? Court dates are looming. Prosecutors are building their case, and the Frost family is facing pressure like never before. One wrong move, one slip-up in public, and the damage could be permanent. Fans who once cheered for Rasheeda's resilience and Kirk's messy redemption arc are now left wondering if this family can ever recover from something this massive. Because scandals fade, cheating rumors die down, but a rapper's death tied to your child, that's the kind of shadow that lingers forever. And as for the streets of Atlanta, people are split. Some say this is just another chapter in the city's long history of hip-hop feuds and violence. Others say it's proof that fame and fortune don't protect you from real-life consequences. Either way, the Frost name will never be the same again. One thing's for sure, this case isn't slowing down. The headlines are only getting louder, the speculation only wilder, and the pressure only heavier. What started as a tragic night in a nightclub has now exploded into a full-blown national scandal, one that could either end in redemption or ruin for the Frost. And trust me, part 3 of the story, it's only going to get crazier. As the story of Kirk and R. Frost's son continued to spiral, fans, critics, and even fellow reality stars couldn't look away. Every new detail was like fuel on an already raging fire, making the situation one of the most talked about scandals in both the hip-hop community and the love and hip-hop universe. The arrest wasn't just shocking because of the crime attached to it, it was shocking because of who was involved. The Frost family had long been seen as one of the more stable couples on the show, despite their ups and downs. And to see their son's name tied to a tragedy of this magnitude was heartbreaking. The tension around Atlanta was thick. Word of mouth traveled fast. People weren't just discussing this on blogs or gossip pages. They were whispering about it in studios, barbershops, and local clubs. The rapper community, already dealing with the losses of so many young lives, couldn't believe another one of their own was gone. And that a name as recognizable as the Frost was tied to the case. Some close to the family revealed that Kirk had been working overtime to keep his son on the right path. He had tried to guide him, putting him in business ventures, bringing him on TV for appearances, and even shielding him from some of the darker sides of Atlanta's rap and club scene. But as some people pointed out, when your parents are reality TV stars, the spotlight can be more of a curse than a blessing. Every move gets magnified, every mistake turns into a headline, and there's no easy way to hide from it. Behind the scenes, Rasheeda was reportedly torn apart. Those close to her said she cried endlessly, unable to process how her son could be involved in something so devastating. She had worked tirelessly to protect her family image, to show viewers that she could balance motherhood, marriage, and her business empire. But scandals like this don't care about branding. They hit hard and they leave scars. The fans who grew up watching the Frost family on Love and Hip Hop were now forced to face a new reality. This wasn't just a storyline cooked up for drama. This was real life with real consequences. A young rapper was dead, a family was broken, and the Frost legacy was now stained by headlines that would live forever online. And while some defended the Frost, arguing that kids grow up and make their own choices, others weren't so forgiving. Social media was ruthless, with trolls throwing blame at Kirk and Rasheeda, accusing them of being bad parents or suggesting that the lavish lifestyle they showed off on TV had blinded their son to the value of hard work and discipline. Meanwhile, in court, things were moving fast. Prosecutors painted a picture of a crime that wasn't random. They suggested there was motive, connections, and maybe even deeper ties to Atlanta's underground rap beefs. Fans of the deceased rapper began showing up at the courthouse, demanding justice, holding signs, and even shouting at the Frost family as they entered. The emotional energy was undeniable. This wasn't just a trial. It was a spectacle. Yet, despite all the noise, there were still unanswered questions. Was Kirk's son truly guilty? Or was he being scapegoated because of his famous last name? Some sources close to the case argued that the evidence wasn't solid, that he was being tied to the crime because of association rather than direct action. Others insisted the police had enough proof to lock him away for a very long time. The Frost, desperate to protect their son, reportedly brought in one of the best defense teams in Atlanta. Lawyers known for working high-profile celebrity cases stepped in, vowing to fight tooth and nail. They reminded the public that being arrested doesn't mean being convicted and that everyone deserves their day in court. Still, the damage was done in the court of public opinion. Once your name is linked to something as serious as murder, the stigma never fully fades. Even if proven innocent, the whispers and side-eyes never truly go away. For Rasheeda, that meant facing fans in her stores who looked at her differently. For Kirk, it meant hearing the chatter every time he showed up at industry events. And for their son, it meant a shadow that could follow him for the rest of his life. As the months dragged on, new twists emerged. Witnesses came forward, stories scripted, and at times it seemed like the case would collapse under its own contradictions. But each new update sent shockwaves online, trending across platforms with fans debating endlessly whether justice was being served, or if this was yet another example of fame twisting the narrative. The Frost family, once reality TV royalty, now found themselves living in a real-life drama far messier than anything producers could script. And as the verdict loomed closer, one thing was clear. No matter how this ended, nothing would ever be the same for them again. And there you have it. This shocking twist in the Frost family saga has left fans absolutely speechless. But the story doesn't stop here. And trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. So, if you want to stay locked in with every jaw-dropping update, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon so you're first in line when the next bombshell drops, and smash that like button. If this video had you on the edge of your seat, now it's your turn. What do you think really happened here? Is this the end of the road for Kirk and Rasheeda's family drama? Or is this just the beginning of something even bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is about to get wild. Until next time, keep your eyes open, because in this game, the truth is always crazier than fiction.